Well, hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Deb and this is DB Designs and Sewing Australia. Thank you for dropping by. Just want to tell you what I've been making this week. This week I've been making the Birch vest by Pattern Scout. Remember last week I showed you the Spencer pants by Style Arc? Well, this week I have made a Birch vest to match. And this is the vest. Comes together quite easily and it's actually really comfortable and nice to wear, but this is quite comfortable fabric, this Italian suiting. I will pop in a whole lot of photos, and I did make some alterations to the vest pattern. So what I first did was make a toile. So I made a toile in calico, knowing that I would probably have to take up the waist and that I wanted to make sure it fitted in the shoulders because the distance between my bust and my shoulders is shorter than most patterns. And the older you get, the worse that gets. They keep on, your spine compresses and you become shorter. It actually starts compressing mainly between shoulder and your armpit, so that part of your top back. So naturally you're going to become shorter in that part. So people over 60, that's some alterations that you may have to do, and I'll probably have to continue to do that type of alteration the older I get, but at least I know. And because this pattern had princess seams, it's so lovely and so easy to make alterations. I made the toile, I pinned the shoulders, I put it on inside out, and then I pinned in where I needed to make any adjustments. So I did have to adjust. Now this is the center back, and so I did take up 2 centimeters, so a 1 centimeter fold in the length of the back, and it was actually here, just where it was. Even though this is a lengthen and shorten line, I actually did it here because I'd tried on the toile. The same alteration to the side back, and I did take what looks like 1.5 centimeters off the shoulders, which in total would be a 3 centimeter difference for shortening the shoulders. And in the front, of course, the same shoulder adjustment, the same length adjustment in the same place, but I also needed to change part of the princess line. Now it fitted, here's this piece, it's probably easier to see, in the bust. So I needed the width of the bust here where your apex is, but I found that I've become much hollower here, like I guess that's called your chest rather than your bust. And so I did this alteration here. Now I did all of these alterations on the toile and then transferred it to the pattern. And I didn't make another version of the pattern and do it because what I found when I opened all my patterns was I'd actually printed this out twice. So I was able to make a change to the pattern piece, and I've still got the original pattern pieces as well. This was a size 14 and it was the C cup. Usually I would do the D cup, but I only needed to do the C cup for this. And you can see that it comes in much sharper here than it would normally. And so the vest turned out really well, and I just used a black lining that I had in my stash, nice crease ironed into it. So I didn't do much understitching on it. I did a little bit. I did it on the back neck area and part of the sleeve, but I made sure that it was pressed so that you wouldn't be able to see the outside. And because the fabric's actually quite dark, with a dark lining, you can't really see it. And after I'd shown my pants last week and then said that I was going to make the Birch vest to go with them, people wrote to me and said, I thought you were going to make the vest in the pink fabric, in the woolen fabric. And so by popular demand, I managed to get the front part of the vest out of it. I really didn't have very much fabric. I really think I only had a meter of that fabric in the first place. And that was with the aspen skirt. So, as you can see, instead of the fabric running on the grain, which would be this part here, I had to cut the two center front pieces running in the other direction. Now, I actually thought it would have looked nice if I'd been able to cut it on the bias, but as it is such an unstable fabric, really, it was just way too hard to do that. It just would not have held up. And I had this hot pink satin in my stash, so I lined it with that and I made the back out of that also. I did have a bit of a disaster with it, and when I was finishing it, I realized that I had sewn this so it was twisted like that. So I had to pull one of the shoulders out and fix it. So that was my disaster. And I didn't have a label that said made with love and a whole lot of swearing. So that's really what I did. I'll insert photos of it with the aspen skirt. Really easy make, those vests, really lovely. Good pattern, fits together really well, so well drafted. As I was taking off my black boots that I had been taking photos, my sewing room is covered in this fabric. I've got to get rid of it. When I was taking off my long boots that I took my photos with, I then spied these boots and I thought I should have put it on with these boots, because how cool are they? These are really, really groovy boots, and I think they'll look really good with that skirt and vest. So maybe when I wear it, that's what I'll be wearing it with. What else have I been doing this week? Well, buying patterns. So the first pattern that, well, it's actually not a purchase because it's free. So the Forget Me Not Vera top, and I'll put in some photos of this. Now, I'd seen that, I know who it was. It was Hayley from the Hay Meadow. She'd made a top in this and I thought, oh, that's a really good top and it's a free pattern. So I've downloaded that. I've also downloaded the Assembly Line high cuff sweater. Now, I think this has been around for a few years, but I hadn't seen it before. So it's like what in Australia we call a wind cheater. And it's, the body is woven fabric, and then it has a knit cuff, neckband and bottom band on it. And I've actually got some dresses that I made 4 years ago, and I really like the fabric and I never wear them, and I was thinking, what can I turn those into? And one of them's a navy with a very pale pink big spot, and I was thinking actually I'd like a top in that, but a top with ribbed cuffing would be so much easier to wear. What a great pop on top. So I purchased that pattern, and I also have been looking for shirt patterns, because as you'll see, when I had this vest on, I actually didn't have a proper shirt to wear under it. And so I purchased the Pattern Emporium Easy Fit shirt, and I was going to make, I have no idea what colour shirts to make that go with bottle green. What colour shirt would you make besides white or slightly off white? And I don't wear cream, and I don't wear yellow, and I don't wear orange or brown. So I don't wear autumn colours. So rather than always wear everything with polar neck jumper, which I do really like these Trudy turtleneck jumpers, and they're made in merino from the fabric store, and I've got 3 of them. So maybe it's time to try a new turtleneck sewing pattern. Or so back to the Easy Fit shirt. So I purchased the Easy Fit shirt to see if I could make a few shirts to wear under things for the winter. And the other thing that I purchased was a Sewing Revival bundle. Now in this bundle, you got the flounce dress and top, which is a really pretty blouse, and the classic pants or shorts. And I quite like the look of those pants because they look narrow through the hips. So I'm always looking for something that's a little bit narrower because I don't really have that much of a waist and my legs are the slimmest part of me. So some elastic waist pants are very puffy and really not me at all, and this looked really good. So I'll probably be making that flounce top / blouse for the blouse challenge that's being held by Gabrielle from Cloth Edit and Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl for the month of April. So I will put in photos of all those patterns that I purchased this week. This is only a short video. Please like and subscribe. And I'll be back next week with a few makes because it's Easter. It's Good Friday today and my grandchildren are on their way here. And then we're going to the dinosaur exhibition. So that should be exciting. And I'll let you all know how that goes. See you next week. Have a great week. Bye.